Hello, hello. We are recording today on May 15th, 2026, and this is our study group, number 6. Hard to believe, the time flies.
Yeah.
Hi, Sabrina. How are you? So, who wants to just start with talking about how you are today and anything you want to say about the class yesterday or whatever's on top of your mind?
Mm.
Well, I'm going to put in my reaction, and it may make sense or not, because I think in energy and r- talked with Jerry Pollack about structured water, and I interviewed him. So I'm really thinking about fluids in additional ways. And when Bonnie had been talking about disc, it really makes sense to me of thinking of structured water because of the consistency, and it feels like the information that's there. And I'm just starting to realize my knee disc is horizontal. I always thought of it like the patella, so my physical body is very confused in my mind. But when she did the pinky disc, both the touching of it and my engaging it energetically, where it started pulsating as I felt it slightly off body, really gave me that sense of how it talks to the different bones. And then years ago, I heard her talk about the joints. And I remember her talking about the spiral coming out of embryology. But this time there was the magic when she showed the picture of the beginning length and then somewhere. And it has to do with distance away from the body, but things start changing. It's like, again, the magic is happening of what I called sparklies and everything changing. And
Okay, thank you. I want to keep going with everybody
okay.
so we have enough time. That's interesting. Wonderful. Who's next? Andrew, why don't you go because you're below or you
Yeah.
volunteer? Go ahead.
Sure. I really enjoyed it. There's just so many details to examine, explore. Um, I just found it fascinating in terms of even though one isn't able to access all of those details, I do a practice when I wake up, like I move my body. And so like just having that information like about the scapula and moving it towards the spine, moving it away from the spine. Fascinating. Wonderful. Yeah.
Charlotte, do you
And the
want to
way
go
Bonnie,
ahead? Oh, go ahead, Robert.
just the way Bonnie was talking about joints. I mean, I always think joints in that traditional sense, but of course that the shoulder has all these joints that aren't formal joints, but they're through all the tissues that are there. I just hadn't thought of that in that way, and it was just a really I liked that new expansion. So
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, I really like when Bonnie talked about the arm having a horizontal relationship to the body. It really changes my posture when I think about that. And I love the fact that she talked about you can't use muscles to change alignment, which, I've definitely found true in my many years of working with bodies, but, yeah, makes complete sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was pretty cool stuff.
Great. Connie, you want to say something? I know.
Sure. Um, it's been interesting for me, particularly at this time because I have been when the session started, when this series started, I had been concerned about some bone issues that I have with especially in my upper extremity. And so when we started working on the hands and we've been moving up into the shoulders, I've just been delighted to find that moving with her suggestions has been helpful to me. I've also been working with another body mind centering practitioner, Wendy Hambidge, on this particular issue that I have. It's basically pain in all of my shoulder joints. But what I experienced yesterday, which was really great for me, was that I felt how initiating from the ulna rather than the radius was actually very freeing. It does release my shoulder. When I compared them, when I initiated from the radius, and then, when I initiated from the radius, there was this sense of gripping or holding in the shoulder, which was gone when I did it the other way. I thought, I'm learning something new. That's great. And then the other thing that I felt that was really wonderful to discover that I hadn't felt before was the internal rotation of the proximal end of the humerus, and the external rotation of the distal end. When she was talking about the embryology and also, helping us kind of feel that spiral, that was delightful for me. And I'm looking forward to, I don't know, learning more and experiencing my shoulder girdle in a different way. Actually, it's feeling better already.
Yay, wonderful. Yes, Robert?
Well, no, I think, let me see, what else would I say? Uh, um, Not sure. I think it's really the same thing. It's that sense that, there's there are the classic joints, the ball and socket joint, the joints that we know of in the elbows and so on, that are cartilaginous joints. But then just the fact that the shoulder has joints in a different. I would like to understand that more. Like, what is the tissue? Is it connective tissue? Is it muscle? How to understand joints from that place. I love the idea of it. I just hadn't explored it before, so I'd be curious about that as we go today.
And it's just a new concept of soft tissue joints.
Yeah, I've been too like this in my joint framing.
I think we all have, in a way. Sabrina, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I think the embryology of arm doesn't start here at the ball and socket of the glenoid fossa, but it comes all the way to the distal end of the clavicle. And I've been playing around with lifting my arm and seeing how far can I lift my arm without any tension, and seeing from the clavicle, can I acknowledge that my arm doesn't just end here, but it ends all the way towards the sternum. So I'm just very curious about that my arm is an extension from the sternum to the distal ends of my fingers. Yeah.
Great. This is probably a good place to, well, here we've got two more people coming in. We could start with that. Here comes Eva in Hawaii and Vanessa.
Oh,
hello. How are you? We were just talking about, each person was introducing what they got from the class yesterday and what they're feeling. And so you two are welcome to speak up and say what your experiences were or are. So feel free.
For the two, both, yes. I think it's you and me. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say I'm here only for half an hour because then I have the little one coming and I couldn't change it differently. So I'm glad I'm coming come in a little bit. So thank you for that.
Okay. Good.
my experience from last class, it was a lot. And Bonnie was teaching advanced, so I can see how some people were like, what does she mean? My question was in terms of the, what did she call it? The soft joints.
The soft tissue joint. We were just
Soft
talking about
tissue
that.
joints, because that's, I think that's a BMC term, because you don't find that really in literature so much.
It's
I
a new
mean,
term. It's a new term as of yesterday, as far as I know.
okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So then because I was like, huh, interesting. She calls them soft tissue joints. So that I was very curious about them.
Yeah. Vanessa, you want to say something?
For me, what stand out, she was very inspired. What stand out was how the limbs are from the lateral plate, and how the structure, the architecture comes first, because you have that separation. She showed that slides, very cool. So the joints are formed later, and also how the tendons and the ligaments are there already with the architecture, and the muscles come after. That was like, and also because I was talking with my very close friend, is a Pilates instructor, and we were talking about how to balance the body. And Pilates, it was exactly what Bonnie was talking about yesterday. So Pilates comes in trying to balance the muscles. But it's exactly what Bonnie says. So the muscles come later, and you already have a structure. So I think what she means is like the first layer to rebalance is through the joints, if I understood correctly. And through tendons, like she says, like at some martial arts, through that somatic practice, found out how to align or to get optimal movement through the joints and not through the muscles. So that was interesting.
Interesting. Carrie just joined us. Carrie, do you want to say hi to the group? And we met
Hello.
last night. We met last night when she called.
I know, out of the blue. Hello, everyone. My name is Carrie Heyer, and I am from Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
What town? Pennsylvania?
Doylestown.
Oh.
Which is near New Hope, if people know that, or Lambertville. And I discovered gyrotonic, like in Geneva of all places in the early 2000s. And
Geneva,
I needed
Switzerland.
To heal.
You're talking about
in Switzerland.
There is a Geneva upstate, so.
Yeah, Geneva, Switzerland. And then I came back to the US and continued my journey studying. So it's included gyrotonic and Pilates, and I practice zero balancing. And my big motivation is I had to heal from a chronic disease, so I really had to try to get into my body as much as I could. And then Bonnie's work is like an entirely new revelation, because I've been hitting the wall on a couple of motions, and I also never crawled. I scooted backwards. So it's been very interesting being introduced to Bonnie's work, and it's been there. And I think it just finally took me a while to be ready to explore it.
You only
So
crawled
I'm excited
backwards?
to be here.
You never crawled forward?
I never crawled forward. I scooted backwards sitting. And I ended up having this chronic disease, Cushing's syndrome, which is a fight or flight disease. It's of the adrenal gland for me.
Yeah.
But that went undetected until my 40s, until I was basically I should have stroked
Exhausted.
out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Then I had a surgery and that cured it, but that was basic almost 40 years of devastation, with my body making high steroids and a large amount of them. So it's been a real journey coming back. And at the same time, I really like the embodiment nature of the work, and it's been profound, in little bits as far as I can manage in each time. So,
and how are you today in terms of your energy and your Cushing's and your adrenals?
Well, today I'm still struggling a bit. I've had a lot of stress the last 5 years. We had a fire in our home, and it just seems, and I have family issues and everything. So I'm gonna say it's been really challenging. Saying that, I'm probably moving the best I've ever moved. But it's been a real challenge, and I think it's like the nitty-gritty stuff in the nervous system that's the universe is forcing me to to jump into head first to try to make a bigger shift. Yeah, I don't know what happened today. Today I'm really locked up in my sacrum, but yesterday I was fine, so who knows?
Well, it's good to have you. Thanks for coming. And just a couple of notes here. I know Joyce has a phone call she's doing right now, and she'll be back in a few minutes. I know that, was it Charlotte said, or Connie said she had to go put her laundry in the dryer. Was there anybody else that was going to be coming and going today while we're talking? Eva has to leave shortly, so it's good. I thought we would start with, we were just talking about, go ahead.
I had one more thing about the windmill and the directions of the, I was exploring with it yesterday. I went swimming, and then I was like, okay, that's also very complex, and had some.
That's wonderful. Did everybody understand that the glenoid fossa faces laterally? And if you look at it from the side, you have the spokes sticking out, and that when it rotates, it's like the windmill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then yesterday in capoeira, my teacher wanted me to do this thing where it's like the elbow goes like that, and it's like how appropriate, kind of like, and I couldn't get it at first because it's like you're stepping in with the right foot and then bringing basically, and it was like, whoa, yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's like that. I had a hard time with doing it actually in the lateral sense, yeah.
Well, why don't we play with our scapula, and we could play also with, I'd like to do part in the clavicle and the front. So, do I take off my shirt? What do we do here? If you guys want to, I don't know if you feel comfortable, but if you can see your scapula or feel your scapula in the back, put your hand on your scapula. Everybody put your left hand on your right scapula, and you can feel the very bottom point. What is that called? Might as well do some of the naming.
Is it the angle?
Inferior angle?
That's the inferior angle. See if you can find your inferior angle. And let's see, we're in the gallery view already. Let me just tilt this down a little bit. Okay, so you have the inferior angle. And then, I'll use this. What is this part of it called?
The
lateral.
Medial border?
Medial
vertebral.
border?
They call it the vertebral border because it's next to the vertebra.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Vertebral border.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
The border. And what is up here?
The
Fine.
Spinous process.
Well, we're doing we're talking about the borders now on the outside.
Okay.
Superior border?
superior something.
Yeah, the superior angle. So I'm on the angle. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So we have the three angles, right? So we have the top, the bottom, We have the vertebral border, and what is on the outside here?
Lateral border?
The lateral border.
Yeah.
And then what is here?
On the top.
And if you walk your fingers down, you feel something hard.
Is that the spine of the
That's
scapula?
the spine of the scapula.
Yeah.
Right.
And then what sits in that groove? What sits in the fossa?
Suprascapulus muscle?
Supraspinatus.
Oh,
That's right.
The supraspinatus. So move your arm up and down and feel the contraction of your supraspinatus. And are you aware of the other attachments? Of the other muscles in here around in your shoulder blade? Let's stick with the bones. Let's come forward. And what's at the top here?
The bump?
Sorry?
You're talking about the bump?
I'm talking about the bone, the bump.
The coracoid process is sort of toward the front
coracoid
anterior a
process
bit.
Coracoid process is here.
Right, right.
All right.
But what's up here? This bump, if you call it a bump.
What is it called?
Depends on how bony you are. This is
I don't remember the
outside
name.
edge. What's the outside edge?
It's not acromion, is it?
It is the acromion.
Right. The acromion, this is okay. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then going forward a little bit, what do you hit? What touches the acromion?
Well, isn't the humerus is underneath it, right?
That's right. That's not the humerus. What is this bone?
Well, the clavicle goes across.
It's the clavicle.
Right.
The clavicle touches here.
Right.
So let's follow the clavicle.
Yeah.
So basically we're tracing the shoulder girdle.
Yeah.
And now, where does the clavicle touch?
Sternum.
It touches what's between the sternum and the clavicle?
A disc.
A disc, the sternoclavicular disc. And let me take my necklace off because that's interfering.
And that's horizontal.
Can you move the clavicle on one side? This would be what I'm doing my right, but you do you're on your right, then I'll do my left. Can you move just the clavicle?
No.
Well, you can actually. You actually can. So here we go.
Initiating from where?
From the clavicle.
From which end?
Medial end.
Okay.
But you are moving your shoulder too, or not?
I am.
Okay, yes. All right. So not only the clavicle.
But I'm initiating from
here.
Sternocleidomastoid, not from the SCM, not the SC, but the sternal juncture.
Clavicular.
Sternoclavicular joint. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a sense that I can sort of create more space by moving them outward without moving my shoulders. I have a sense that there is a movement there because there's that space and there's the disc, but I don't know if it's really moving or not.
Okay, well, play with it. I don't think there's a right or a wrong. Do the other shoulder. Both sides.
like the sternum and the clavicle feel like two dancers that are sort of dancing around one another as they go this, like they're staying connected as if their hands are connected, but they're sort of moving in relation to each other like this, you know, a little bit as I'm.
And don't forget the disc between the two.
Yes, yeah. Well, right. The disc is yes, yes. Yeah.
And then coming down, what do we have here?
The sternum.
Well, the sternum and the ribs are down, starting to connect in.
What's the name of this part of the sternum?
Manubrium.
The manubrium. So feel your manubrium. And just for the heck of it, we keep going down. And what's at the bottom of the sternum? The manubrium. What's the bottom of the
Xiphoid process?
The xiphoid process. And when you take a deep breath, what do you feel in the xiphoid process?
Mm-hmm.
And you should feel, not that you should, but in the inhale, it actually moves forward. And the exhale, it's supposed to move back unless you have reverse breathing, which sometimes happens when babies, I think out of fear, they learn to reverse the breathing. So they collapse on the inhale and expand a bit on the exhale, or they don't expand at all. I don't know if you've ever worked with somebody that has that condition where their whole front is caved in. It's pretty amazing. It's a shock when you see it for the first time. This is all back here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that related to the mobility of the diaphragm at all? Or
Yeah.
does it just, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know which comes first.
Which what comes first?
Oh.
Whether you
A diaphragm being locked or
I think
reverse.
it's all connected.
Yeah.
I think it's all connected. So let's find the medial portion. And what is special about this medial portion of the clavicle?
It came from a different part developmentally. I couldn't name it right.
The cervical somites is part of the center of the plates there. You've got the somites, which become the vertebrae, and in this situation, they become part of the clavicle. And then what else as you continue, where does this part come from?
From the lateral plate or the lip plate?
From the lateral plate. So you have the paraxial plate with the cervical somites, and then where the curvature of your clavicle is, I'll get a clavicle for you. Where that curvature is the place where the bones, the medial portion, the inner portion meets with the outer portion. Maybe I'll pin this. It'll be a little easier.
Amazing. Beautiful. My goodness.
Do you have any bones at home?
Mm-mm.
No bones at home.
The part that's in your right hand is the part that goes to the shoulder. Is that right?
This is my right hand. Yes, this is the acromion, and this is the part that comes to.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Be like this.
Amazing.
So see if you can trace that on yourself. And then find the other one on the other side. So this is like, it's an image from, I think, Mabel Ellsworth Todd in her book, which used to be a very popular book 30, 40 years ago. But this is a hanger, like you're able to hang your whole body from the clavicle and the shoulder girdle. And the only attachment is where? To the rest of the body.
To the
Right
sternum.
there.
What,
Right side.
what did I hear? I heard the sternum right here. Yeah. This is where the disc, the sternal disc.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the rest of you is hanging from there. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have a difference in my bump here on one side compared to the other side, which I've developed over the years. So you might just notice differences in the bone shape in your own clavicle.
Are those differences related to handedness or
I think so, but
adaptation?
I don't know. I don't think there's any. Definitely right-handed. For me, it's my more right-handedness here.
Yeah.
So you follow it back. Let's go with the other. If you didn't do, let's do the other leg, the other shoulder. That's funny. Do the other shoulder. Find the anatomical structure. So here we talked about, what was the name of this? Let's start at the bottom. Here we go at the bottom. What's the bottom angle called?
Inferior.
Yeah, inferior.
And what is the angle at the top?
Superior.
Yeah. And what is the muscle that lies in the groove here?
Supraspinatus.
Supraspinatus, because it lies in the supraspinous process. And then what's back here that goes at an angle from the outside downward to the inside?
The spine of the
spine.
Yeah.
And then what is this inner edge called?
Vertebral border.
Vertebral border. And you know, the scapula is also, the clavicle and the scapula both have a, starting from the somites, and this part of the scapula comes from the paraxial column, and the lateral portion comes from the lateral plates. And that's important because it's both appendicular, which means the outside bones, and axial. I don't know if Bonnie mentioned that so much. Do you know what the actual axial structure is? It consists of your sacrum, your vertebrae, and your first skull bone, the occiput. And all the other bones are considered appendicular, meaning they're peripheral system. So your face bones under the eyes are appendicular. Your shoulders are appendicular. Some of your clavicle is appendicular. Your blade of the shoulder, except for the vertebral border, but the outer part is appendicular. Your legs, of course, are appendicular. Your pelvis is appendicular down to your legs, appendicular. So if we just move axially, let's take a moment to stand and see if we can just feel the differences from moving from the axial skeleton and you have all kinds of movement in the axial skeleton in your vertebrae.
Is that then our snake-like, worm-like part?
Yeah. And there's rotation and tilting. and opening and rounding. And you can think about taking a doll, put your finger on the bottom of the doll, the pelvis, and then on the head, and you can play with that doll, moving around.
And then if we're starting with really creeping, then the movement can easily come from the spine.
Yeah, we don't start with creeping. We start with the spine.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It
Yeah.
goes spinal
Yeah.
to
Okay.
homologous to
Right.
homolateral to contralateral. So let's add now the appendicular parts of us. And you can see what incredible range of movement we have. So you can slide your scapulas around your body. You can move it into a 360 arc. Bring your shoulder blade across. Bring your arm around and down. Play with it all dimensions. And then you can add your legs. You can add your pelvis. All kinds of movements with your pelvis. You can go forward, backward, side to side. You can rotate. See if you can bring one part of your pelvis forward, the other part of your pelvis forward. And you can add your jaw as appendicular. And the bones of your face below your eyes. I think that's what she said. And if you just want to build more sensation, you can tap. You can breathe. Tap all over your body. You can even shake. Move all the fluids. Your fascia is a fluid. So if you find anything that feels a little stuck, you can move it. Use your fascia to flow through that tight area. You can move faster and faster. Think about the cardiovascular system, the heart's pumping. Going forward and backwards, spinning, leaping, jumping, flying, flying. And you might find yourself coming into venous flow, which is a slower recuperative feeling of your fluids. So depends, you want to keep moving fast, you keep your cardiovascular, keep your heart going, keep your speed going. Or you may feel like now it's time to recuperate and let the venous flow take over, returning the blood to the heart, through the veins. Do it feels good to you. And you might find yourself going more slowly, shifting into maybe the cranial sacral fluid.
Mm.
Which will bring you into more of a Tai Chi experience. And feel that rotation or the windmill of the scapula. And you might feel a kind of a beckoning into your soul. You can feel the circle of energy coming back, going out, coming back. And remember that we have all three planes. We have the vertical plane going down and up. We have the horizontal plane spinning side to side, rotating.
Oh.
And we have the sagittal plane going forward and back. And let's come back into our axial skeleton. So we have the cerebral spinal fluid bathing inside our spines. And you come to a quiet place. Feel what you need to feel. You can put one hand on your sacrum, one hand on your head. And just imagine the flow of fluid. The cerebral spinal fluid coming down. It gets produced in the choroid plexus inside the skull. It comes down to the spine and bathes the spinal cord. And in effect, you're floating in your cerebral spinal fluid. So you can take that fluid with you anywhere you want to go. feel like you're in water, because you are. We're carrying our ocean.
Mm. Mm.
And even better, we are the ocean. And if you want to go in a more cellular fashion, you can lie down or find a place to sit.
Oh.
Let your imagination go. And let your breath be clear, strong, or soft and soothing. Just be wherever you are. You can feel your heart. And feel how your bones protect your body, protect your organs. And give you structure that allows you to move. You can feel all your organs, in fact. You go back to your kidneys behind you. You can warm them with your hands, rubbing your kidneys. Or you maybe your hands on the right side, you're feeling your liver. Or if you go to the left side, you might feel the spleen under the ribs and your stomach on the left side. You could follow your esophagus down to your stomach and then into the duodenum, through the small intestines, all 26 feet of the small intestines and the large intestines.
Mhm. Mhm.
And into the rectum, into the bladder, feel your bladder. Find your ovaries or your testes. Feel your ureters coming out of the kidneys and down to the bladder. And then you can travel back up wherever it feels good. Feel your heart.
Mm.
And we'll take a little bit of time just to rest, to lie here. Give yourself 5 minutes to recuperate, rejuvenate, be in parasympathetic mode. Do you remember that Bonnie talked about the osteocalcin in one of the first classes that we had? And how she feels the calmness flooding her body. She feels like the osteocalcin is responsible for that. Gets secreted by the bone and travels through the body, through the blood. Calms the nervous system. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Lots of hormones. Osteocalcin is one of many of the hormones. It helps with the glucose absorption in the bone. And actually, when it circulates, it also helps the pancreas, which is where the beta cells, which produce insulin, are found. So you can find your pancreas and give it a nice rub. Hello, pancreas.
Mm.
So key to our metabolism to have a balance in our sugar levels. It goes on a diagonal, front to back, so. And you can go through the bile duct that's in the liver and secretes bile, which gets emptied into the duodenum. Helps to break down fats. And when if you feel like changing positions, feel free to do that. See if you can go into your cells, whatever part of your body you feel you want to pay attention to. Maybe it's just the breathing. And see if you could go into your mitochondria, which is the energy factory in your cells. And it uses the sugar that glucose is produced, that's given as a source of energy as well. It's nice to talk to your mitochondria because you need energy. Sometimes I just say, okay, mitochondria, I need more energy. So let's stir it up. Or if you need more rest, say, I need more rest. And then you can come back to your sensation of your bones. When you're lying down, you can rock your legs. You can think about your long thigh bone. And then go down to your kneecap. I can feel my kneecap pressing into the floor, to my table. You can turn your legs in and out, rotating around the fibula. And then returning it around the tibia, just the way you do the ulna and the radius. Externally and internally, in external rotation. And how the ankle bends. When you point your toe, the talus slides forward. And bringing your heels into flexion, flexing your feet. The talus slides back. And let yourself rest. Let yourself feel at peace. And if you can, feel that oneness. Feel connected to others in our class. Feel connected to the people around you. Feel connected to your family, if that's good. Connect to your friends. Feel yourself connecting to strangers. Feel yourself connecting to communities. Into cities. Cities all over the world. Into countries. And now the entire globe. And now beginning to awaken or return. And if you feel like voice coming to you and you want to share your experience, it would be nice to hear.
Well, I feel a lot more suppleness, and that the holding in my sacrum is now released. I would say 80%, 85%.
Wow, that's great.
So
May that always be so.
yeah.
It was beautiful, Sarah, as you were describing or talking about your spine versus the limbs. My spine came into an existence in a way it never had. And when I talked about creeping and you talked about what came before, well, in fragmented ways, I clearly know it, but as if the spine became a central focus for me to go and before and after. So something is densifying into manifest awareness, which is quite lovely.
Nice.
Don't have a lot of words, but when you talked about the ocean being us, the cerebral spinal fluid and swimming in the ocean that's within us, that was really something to think, to know that, to feel the truth of that. And oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, that struck me as well. It's like, oh, okay, there's an image I can embrace.
Yeah, me too. I like floating in my fluids.
Yes.
And feeling supported, that idea that, oh, it's just all surrounded by fluid, and the fluid is just holding me and moving me gently like that.
The whole journey was really beautiful. It's really lovely.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Can you talk a little more about what the bone is giving to us? I can't recall the name at this moment and say it.
The osteocalcin?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the hormone. And it's produced by the osteoblasts, which also produce oxytocin. Oxytocin is the feel-good hormone that when we're breastfeeding, you just feel the love for everyone and your baby, and it exudes. I mean, it's such a wonderful feeling the oxytocin produces. And Bonnie was talking about osteocalcin, but when I was exploring this with Sylvia after class, I said, that's oxytocin to me. So.
And where is it produced in the bone? Where are the osteoblasts?
The osteoblasts are cells that build the bone.
Oh.
And osteoclasts are cells that break down the bone. So it's
Mhm.
remodeling. And there was another question. Robert, did you have a question?
Well, I don't think so.
Finished
I
your
mean,
thought?
I think there was the exploring of the soft joints, the non-traditional joints that from earlier on, but I didn't have a recent question just now.
Okay. Well, a nice soft joint is between the coracoid process and the clavicle,
Hmm. Hmm.
where you have a set of ligaments that actually connect those
Hmm.
two. And when you get a shoulder, sometimes if you get shoulder separation, those ligaments get pulled apart. It can be quite painful.
And
So,
if we look at bones emerging in our development and the osteoblasts being there and it being close to the oxytocin of the pleasure for growing and connecting.
Mhm.
And so I think of that image in the beginning of the development of the joints that she showed at the end with those little dots in the middle of the straight line.
Mhm.
So do you have a sense of, for me, is the oxycalcin,
osteocalcin.
the osteocalcin.
Yeah.
Can do you have a sense, or can you embody, because it's somewhere from there that bone is bone and ligament and tendons and the space and the joint
It's
fluids.
earlier than, it's not from there. It's not from the osteocalcin, calcinin. I think it's osteocalcinin. It's not from that per se. The hormones are a result of the bones having developed. Not that the hormone comes before the bone. Just
Well,
looking through my paper.
yeah, it feels, if I'm going to be, it's the fruit of the tree, the hormones.
That sounds good. I'll go for that. I think Bonnie said osteocalcin. I'm just looking through my notes here.
Do you know how it's spelled? O-S...
T-E-O,
CEO.
calcin,
T-
C-A-L-C-I-N.
Okay.
Osteocalcin, yeah. She talks about it. It secretes a hormone called bones secrete a hormone called osteocalcin. It helps regulate cellular metabolism by increasing the ability of cells to absorb glucose.
Mm.
And this is necessary for survival, as the mitochondria, which are the breathing cells and their energy source, utilize oxygen and glucose to produce what?
ATP?
ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the cell's source of energy for the other organelles. Scientific research has shown that osteocalcin improves physical endurance and memory. This is from Bonnie's notes that she gave us. The scientific study of osteocalcin is also focused on its necessary role in turning on the fight or flight response to trauma. And so for her, opening awareness to the secretion of osteocalcin in the bones illuminates the bones' awareness of themselves, because osteocalcin is released directly into the bloodstream. It is carried to all the other cells in the body, even through the blood-brain barrier. Through embodiment of this process, my felt sense, this is Bonnie speaking, my felt sense is the seeping and absorbing of a fluid wave of deep comfort and well-being spreading through my body, releasing local tensions of anxiety, fear, and discomfort. And this is a clear example that answers are dependent upon the manner in which we ask the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes on to say the ways in which she wants to share in this series is how osteocalcin can support strong bones and an inner state of calmness and well-being. This includes the bones aligning themselves through inner cellular awareness between the bones against the external resistance of gravity and supporting, and against internal fluid resistance.
Hmm.
And it has two distinct pathways of function. Osteocalcin that remains in the bones facilitates the absorption of calcium into the bone matrix, as in mineralization, increasing bone strength through vitamin K, and it's a non-collagen protein in the bone. And then two, the other way, the other pathway is that osteocalcin does not remain in the bones. It travels through the bloodstream and functions as a hormone acting on other tissues, such as the pancreas. It helps to stimulate insulin secretion in the pancreas, so more insulin is available for the cells. Oh, look at that doggy. Oh, he's just a sweetheart. And it increases cellular sensitivity to insulin, so cells are more efficient in absorbing glucose, especially in fat and muscle cells. And Bonnie says,
No, go.
Bonnie says, when I block feelings of anxiety and discomfort from entering my heart and vessels, the release of osteocalcin from my bones can bring up the fight or flight response through my hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. When I allow my heart and vessels to open to the processing and absorbing of my resistive patterns, the flow of osteocalcin generates a calming effect on my heart and blood, on the vessels, on the organs and glands, on the brain, the spinal cord, nerve pathways, facial senses, skin and facial web, as well as my muscles and fat. I experience a deep, peaceful wave of fluid energy passing through my whole body. A key for me is a connection of my heart to digestive tract and pancreas.
Wow. Your reading, it brings it to life in a very special way.
Well, you want to feel it as it's happening as you read that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those notes are
in they're in our
in the document.
study guides. Yeah,
Okay.
they're in the documents. Yeah. So I thank you for coming.
I thank you for being.
Thank
I
you,
thank all of you.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful to be with you.
Lovely.
Good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You guys
Thank
have
you.
a good weekend.
See you in 2 weeks, I guess, right?
Yes.
See you in 2 weeks. I won't be
2
teaching
weeks.
next Friday.
Good.
Yeah, so it'll be 2 weeks.
Thank you. And in total, we have 10 sessions. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank
Beautiful,
you.
huh?
Enjoy your time, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks. Good to see everybody. Thank you.
Blessings all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you working with your little boy. You're on mute, Eva. Eva, you're on mute. Say that last part.
I said he is doing great. He's really on a roll learning new things. So
That's
like
great. That's great. He's
yeah.
grown. He's grown
Wonderful.
since
He's
we
grown, right?
Yeah, he's so grown. Gotten
He's like
bigger.
long legs, Yeah, he's getting bigger. We're telling him he has to learn to hold on to things because his grandpa's carrying him and he's need to so
Yeah, but hanging on is so good.
it's a process. Yes, it's a process.
Yeah,
Okay.
and get that grasping. Yes.
Yeah. All right. See you in 2 weeks, Sarah, from Germany then.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Thank you. It was a great class, and I listened to it again.
Wonderful.